Hey everybody, happy Friday. You guys had an awesome week. I'm here with my second time guest, Jeff Osborn. This is our first live in-person Agents Who Win event. We call this an event because it's an event every Friday. But
it is an event.
It is.
It is an event. It's a huge deal. It's a massive deal.
It's a massive deal, especially when you're in the presence of greatness like Jeff Osborn. He is the king of open houses. And we just wanted to kind of dive in and, as a lot of states are finally opening back up, California, to allow open houses, it's become the chatter on all the Facebook groups. So excited to just learn, maybe give some feedback on what people can do to be more successful with open houses. And, whenever I talk to Jeff and he does an open house on one of our listings or his listings, he's like, yeah, man, it was great. I walk out with, I got 2 buyers in the listing coming. And I'm like, holy cow, what'd you do? So I want to dive in and see if we can provide some value back to everybody on this little topic. So appreciate you guys being here today. Jeff, let's get started.
Thank you. I want to give a special shout out to Todd. Guys, I don't know how much you see and what you don't see, but this guy is a machine to do his business the way he does and provide this show. And the people that he has on this show, it's not just anybody. He's my mentor. I don't know if you know that. So I'm very, very grateful for everything he has helped me with to get to where I'm at. And my open house success, I'll repeat that, my open house success might not be as big of a success because it started with a lot of his open houses, until you have a listing.
Get your inventory built up. But
I just want to give a big shout out. This guy doesn't stop working. I don't know how he does it. I'm trying to keep up. He has an amazing team. Okay, so I want to start off by saying this, okay? If there was a time to do open houses, right now is that time. The inventory is half or close to half of what it is in a healthy market, which is like 2-3 years ago, meaning that people are forced to do things they didn't have to do. So I'm going to repeat that. If there was a time to do an open house, whether you're good at it, whether you know what you're doing, whether you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. You're going to get people coming in, and if you make a mistake, try another. Practice it again. If you make a mistake, don't worry, because you're going to have another person to talk to. If you make another mistake, don't worry. They don't know that you're making mistakes. We can go into that later. But if there was a time to do an open house, this is the time. I've been waiting for this. From getting 4 or 5 people to sign in, and then out of the 4 or 5, 1 or 2 are good candidates, and then out of the 1 or 2, one's a seller. That's the goal. Now we're talking about 3 times those numbers: 14, 15, 16. I think I had 17 people. I can't print enough sign-in sheets. I'm running out of sign-in sheets. So I'm going to repeat that. If there was a time to learn this, to hone your craft, this is the time.
So you started doing open houses a long time ago. You found that as your Saturday, Sunday, you're even doing some open houses like 2 a day. And that's how you built your business. And what's funny is people will go in and say, I hate open houses because everyone's just looking around. It's just the neighbors. It's just, everybody has an agent. And somehow the same property the next day, why is it on Saturday was all people with realtors, but Sunday it wasn't people with realtors? Or Saturday was nobody was of value and Sunday was people of value, or vice versa? How come you can find the people of value, but the others can't?
Well, I pray to the open house God. No, this is what it is.
You do the open house dance?
The same. I do an open house dance. It's all mindset. I don't want to do open. I'm going to back up. I had a full-time job before I became a full-time realtor. I think majority of us have. The ones that don't, mad props. And I did extremely well my first year, second year, and then I went full-time, I think my 2.5 years in, thanks to Todd. So I'm going to back up. I had to find something that I could do on the weekends that was free. I'm going to say that again. That's free. It's just my sweat equity. And so I started doing open houses. And my natural skill set is to talk to people. I am extremely comfortable toe-to-toe, face-to-face, right in their circle to find out how we can help them. My previous, what I did full-time before real estate was additions. I sold additions, sunrooms. That was my niche. So it's the same concept. I go there, I present my information. I always have information. I always print a lot of stuff. I kill a lot of trees. I'm old school. I like to leave you with stuff. I want you to take home paperwork. And a lot of people still like that. Sorry, my nose is bothering me. But going back to that, that forced me to learn the right way and the wrong way. And believe me, it's not fun. I want to go to the beach. I want to go on this. I want to go on that. And I do, but you have to make it work. So if you go in there with a mindset that everything is not going to work out, it's not going to work out. The same people, I'm going to answer Todd's question. This is how it's going to be answered right here. The same people that come on Saturday are the same people that come on Sunday. The difference is I am there to help them. You have an agent, great. That's how many offers have you put in? You put in 4 offers. How many have you won? None? Okay, I'm going to tell you the reason why. Normally, because I'm the guy on the other side winning, but that's okay. I can help you with your agent if you need that. What's your agent's name? You're going to find out a lot of people that they're going to write down that they have an agent. They don't have an agent, or they might not have an agent as skilled as you. What I always recommend, and you can write this down, I'm going to give you a chance to get a pen. And this is why I say a lot, and I repeat it. I say, are you still interviewing? Are you still interviewing? You're not paying us any commission. This is different than selling a house. I think there's a lot more work I mean, I have systems for both, but there's more hours put in with buyers. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not saying that there isn't for sellers. There's a lot of work for both, but are you still interviewing? And that's going to open them up, yes or no. You never want to put them in a corner. If I say, oh, you have an agent, do you want to hire another one? No, you don't. You don't do that. Are you still interviewing? Maybe, okay, I have a pamphlet that I made to leave you with. Let's find out what's going on. And before I do that, on this piece of paper that I'm going to hand you, it shows you what minimum a buyer agent's supposed to do. Whether your buyer agent, whether your agent is doing that or not, that's okay, because now you know what you're supposed to get. And you want someone, I'm going to repeat this again. 1, are you still interviewing? 2, you need somebody, and I never say me. I never put me in that spot. I want them to fill those words out. You need someone that's going to take this more serious than you. You need to hire someone that's going to take this more serious than you. So when I get to just a little bit into those conversations, and I have someone that actually wants to talk to me, they're going to realize, whoa, what's this? Holy cow, this sounds like we can win right now. And then I'm going to back up to what I first said. If there wasn't a time to do open houses, this is the time. These people need help. They are failing miserably. They have, and I'm not saying the other agents are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm sure they're amazing. But if you have skills and concepts that can get your buyer's offer approved and it's working, just imagine if you had more people to help. So when I meet these people, I've never seen so many. I have to move out next month. I have to move out next week. We're on a month to month. We moved down, we're staying in an Airbnb. I mean, the amount of stories that I'm hearing. So I'm going to go back to that. Normally an open house lead is 4 to 6 months. Now I do so many open houses. I have people buying next month. That's just me. But normally an open house lead is 4 to 6 months. Right now, a lot of Todd's listings that I do open houses on have offers before I even get to them. But I'm helping those people make the offers better, whether I'm their agent or not. And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or get them to come with me. I'm just saying, okay, if you really want this house, this is what you need to do, because I'm here to support you. I'm here to support Todd. I'm here to add value, and they're going to have friends or family members, not just that person, but maybe someone that's listening to me, because that's just my nature, is to help. It's okay if you have someone else. That's fine. I might not work with you in this transaction, but you might have a friend or a family member that you might tell me about or something like that down the road. And that's like Todd's business is Todd's business. That business, they stay with Todd, right? I'm never, I don't do that. What I'm saying is, when you're there, there's other people there watching you. You're always being watched. So don't think that what you're saying to this person, the other people that are looking at the house aren't paying attention to you. So I want them to see that deep down, I care, and I'm here to succeed in the house that I'm hosting. I'm here to see that succeed, and I'm here to see them succeed. And you'll realize fast that they haven't met someone like that. They only met someone that wants to do business now and that wants to see if they're pre-approved and that doesn't want to talk about their mortgage payment, that doesn't understand the financial aspect of it, and that doesn't teach them that.
So when you're going through all that, Jeff, we get the people into the house. Like, what's your biggest success getting people to the property? Because I think it's the biggest challenge. Like, we do so much Facebook marketing and obviously put an MLS, so it's on Zillow and all the others, it's the open house dates. That's a lot of online stuff. What are you doing offline?
I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. People are out just driving around looking for homes. I have a script and we can put it in the links. And it's pretty simple, and one of the questions is, how did you hear about the open house? Was it Zillow, which would have been in the MLS or something like that? Or was it the signs, or was it, was it a door hanger, something like that? If I have time to do that, I try to do that. But then you're
door knocking 10, 10, 20, or
I had a lot of success with door knocking, and it's hit or miss. It's different. Door knocking nowadays is different than what it was 5 or 6 years ago. It all depends what time it is. So when I have a new listing, and I try to make this mandatory, but time is always, the essence. I want to push like 30 or 40 flyers, door hangers, inviting them, right? And then I want to knock on at least 10 to 15 doors that it looks like someone's home. And I have another script, really nice and unique, not asking them if I can help them, but asking them if they know anybody that can help the neighbor that I'm helping, so it's a soft approach. So I used to door knock a lot. And I had great success with it, but it's a little, I shouldn't say this because that might scare people, but it's a little more dangerous nowadays than it is. And there's a lot of ring doorbells, so no one really comes to the door. So, but I'll tell you what, as I'm putting the door hangers on the doors and I'm coming back down, majority of them are already off. Someone's already picked them up and looked at it, so people can do a lot of stuff on their own. You just need to kind of coach that. The number one thing that I try to make sure I do, and that's if the police department doesn't steal them. I love the police department. They're amazing. I'm not saying they're not.
They just love open house signs.
City of Lake Mary, City of Winter Springs, City of Oviedo. It's the cities that take your signs. You have to put it on. So what I'm trying to say is I put 6 signs out on major intersections as many as I have, like 60 signs. I need more, but I try to put all of them out. So when people see that, they're just, I get them from the signs, and there's people that put out more signs to me. I'm by far the person that puts out the most signs.
So you're doing like the Tom Ferry mega open house style 50+ open house signs.
We do. Well, it's not 50+. It's just, you have your major intersection that's going to come into the subdivision, or you have your subdivision off the 434 or whatever. I'm going to put 3 and 3 on each side of that on each side of the road coming into the subdivision. And then I might go back a little bit more if there's another major intersection and put 6 again. And then I'm going to put signs coming back to the house. And then I have a banner. So you don't need an overkill of signs, and it's dangerous. You want to be careful, doing this, and you want to give yourself plenty of time. But I think that and also the sign-in sheet that I have a table that I don't use the furniture in the house because you don't know what you're going to or if there's going to be any. So I have a table with a nice stretchy tablecloth. I prop the table up. I don't know how to say the tablecloth word right, but you know what I'm saying. It's nice. And then I have flyers, and then I have my info sheet with my business card. I just started actually leaving my business card out. I don't know why. I got this idea from him, but people take my business card. I just always left the flyer because I had my info on it. And then I have individual sign-in sheets, and I've been doing this kind of pre-COVID, individual sign-in sheets. So I hand them the flyer, I hand them the sign-in sheet. Here's some hand sanitizer. And then I back off because I don't want to, and a lot of times people just fill it out. So I don't want to talk to them while they're filling it out. I kind of wait until they're done, and I hand it another one, So I have about 6 sign-in sheets. I need to get more. I can do it at the same time. And then I remove that piece of paper when they're done. I take it back to my book bag, my laptop. I'm going to make a big point. If you can get the Wi-Fi from where you're at, you can ask him. I always ask. It doesn't always happen. But if you can have Wi-Fi or a hotspot, that's going to be great because you want to have the MLS open and you want to know 2 or 3 homes locally that are good. I always print about 15 out within like a radius that shows a good 15. And then and then I do single page print, and I staple them together. And then I do a map. So it shows a map of all those 15. And then I do one color, and then I do about 4 or 5 black and white, because black and white's cheaper. Paper costs money. And so when they're like, well, hey, can I have that? Can I have your home list? And I used to do a lot more. I used to do this price point, that price point, but I realized that no one really looks at that. It's easier for them for that to catch their eye, because you don't know if they're coming from the signs. And if they're coming from the signs, they've never seen the house. So what I say is, if you come here and you think this is bad, I want to have something for you. I wanted to feel like I've offered you some type of value. From when they walk into that door until they leave, you're interviewing for the job. You're interviewing for the job. And that's how you have to look at it. People call FSBOs and they call expireds to get that appointment. Well, when I first got into this, I said, how can I have them come to me? How can I have them come to me? How can I have them come to me so they can interview me, not even knowing that they're interviewing me? And that's what I realized open houses are. They're an opportunity where you can get 3 to 6 to 12 different interviews with individuals to build a relationship. All I want to do is build a relationship. They might not be able to do something now. They might not be able to do something for a year. That's okay. This is my end game. I'm trying to fill my database, and I want my database to feel loved and that I care about them and that I want them to succeed. So I want to get their information. I want to get them in my database. I want to get them in my systems. I want to be able to put them on a home search. So the beginning part is just interviewing, getting them to trust you, to give you their information. And on my sign-in sheet, it says, can I text you, or would you prefer email or text? I'm asking for their permission if I can contact them. I've only had like one person say no. Even if they have an agent, the question above that is, do you have an agent? Yes. Can I contact you? Or yes, so it's like, even if they have an agent, they're said I can contact them. And it's a numbers game. But if you do it right, your numbers are going to be big, you're going to succeed. Did I answer your question?
No, I think you answered it in very detailed length. There's a lot to the process, and I mean, you're a rock star at it, because I've had an agent shadow you, and she's like, oh my God, I said bye to the guy, and all of a sudden Jeff's like, no, come back, I got something, I want to sell you a house today.
Well, I chased him out to his car. You're talking about Liz?
Yeah.
So that one person,
that was like an anomaly of, that's why it's valuable to do open houses and know the inventory that's out there, because you can then show somebody something right after. My
laptop was up, of course. The MLS was logged in, of course. I know my area, because all I do is look at houses, and I have other people on searches. So the houses come to me. I'm not searching. I have people on searches. So when I see the email to see if it's good for them, that's telling me what's available. What he's talking about is, I got there late. She actually got there before me. I was putting out signs. I didn't have my table set up then. This was like 1.5 years ago, like 2019. That particular individual said, I need to buy before, this is in November. I need to buy within 30 days. I have cash. I'm going through divorce. I don't know if he said divorce, but he said, I need to buy within 30 days. I have cash and something else. You don't hear that often. And when you do, it's normally BS. So I was talking to someone. He said that to Liz and me. I immediately asked Liz, can you continue talking to them about what their question was? As we were doing that, he didn't even sign in. He barely signed in. And long story short, he's a great friend of mine now. He's like, oh, I got to take a phone call in my truck. That means he's leaving. So I ran out the door with my laptop, knowing that he wanted to buy with 𝙊𝙤𝙢, knowing what he told me a little bit what he wanted after that information. I'm typing in a search, hey, and he said, hey, I have an address that I'm interested in too. Here it is. And then that's when he walked out to his truck. And then that's when I jumped off the conversation with him, had Liz help me, and then chased him out to his truck. He shut the door. I'm knocking on his window with my laptop saying, hey, we can see this property today. And here's another one. He's like, he rolled down his window. He said, okay. I said, I'm going to be done at 3:30. I can meet you there at 4:30. Worst case scenario 5. Perfect. I'll see you there. Okay. I have your sign-in sheet. Is that your phone number? That's your phone number. Okay. I can read your handwriting. Okay. I'm going to text you as soon as I leave that I'm heading that way. And I'm also going to email you this property and the other one that we're going to see. Great. Okay. He bought a house 5 days later. We closed in 20 days. I sold that house that he bought. I sold another house that he had. I helped him buy a house on Bear Lake.
Okay.
And and he bought a commercial property. And I'm fixing to list 2 of his investment properties.
So that's one open house, buyer down the road.
There was more business than him there. That's just one person.
That's 5 to 6 transactions out of that one person. And he's got to appreciate the energy you're putting into getting that done. Is since why he's done 6.
Well, I care. He told me what he needed done. I take it serious.
Yep.
I got to know him, and he was going through a divorce. I'm not going to say his name. He was going through a divorce, not by choice. And he had to have a place for his kids so his kids can be with him for Christmas. That was a big deal.
So you've got a bunch of people coming to an open house. How do you keep up with everybody that's coming in there? Do you find the priority of the ones who think they're going to engage, or do you just give everyone the same attention and then let them go through the house on their own?
You're going to realize I want to focus on the people that want to talk to me and that want that really
want to have the conversation.
That want to have the conversation.
Okay.
You're going to have people, and I always ask, I can tell if it's a neighbor. I am gotten really good at that.
So let's dive into that for a second. They always say you do a neighbor, like our open houses are from 1 to 3. So 12 to 1, we're going to do a private event open house for the neighbors from 12 to 1. I don't see the value in that because they've already been in their neighbor's house, or they're just there.
They're going to, that I don't, Tom Ferry says to do that. I haven't done that. Then I'm there even longer, which is fine. Yeah. But I'm not going to do, I want everybody to come. I'm not going to just make it special. I'm not doing it private. What they're talking about is having sandwiches and like buying all this stuff. And like, that's fine. But you can have them, they can come during maybe I should try it. I'm not going to knock it. It probably does work. I don't have the time. I'm already, Sunday's my big day that I do, open house every single Sunday and sometimes Saturday. Now I'm to the point it's just on Sundays. But what Todd's saying is what's going to happen is you're either going to have 1 or 2 or 3 at the same time, or you're just going to have 1. And then you're going to, right now you're going to have at least 1 or 2 there at the same time. So what you want to do is make sure you get them to fill out the information. Hand sanitizer, flyer, sign-in sheet, and it's on a little clipboard. You buy them at the dollar store; they're $1. Mine say Dr. Doolittle on it because my kids picked it out, and people love that. And I'm gonna let them kind of let them fill it out. Ask them how they hear about the open house. Are you familiar with the area? That right there is gonna tell me whether they saw it on Zillow, whether they saw the signs, and if they saw the signs, that means they didn't know anything about this house. That means this might not be the right one for them. And then are they from the area or from the neighborhood? You're from the neighborhood? Okay. More than likely, you're not going to buy this house, or you're just checking it out, or you're looking at it for a friend. Do you have a house to sell? Are you interested in selling your house? Are you trying to rent it? Because normally people come look at this because they're interested in what they can get for their house. And if they tell you otherwise, they're lying. Brent Grove taught me that right at pre-COVID. If someone is not wanting to fill out their information, ask them if they have a house to sell. More than likely, they do have a house to sell. So you get into that. All I'm trying to do is build a relationship, and I want to talk to people that want to build a relationship with me. I am confident in my skill set. I am confident in my toolbox. I am confident that I can succeed in getting the job done. So I want to find people that see that in me and that want to build a relationship with me. You're going to have people that don't want to talk to you. My wife was with me last Sunday, and I messed up.
Mission of all failure.
She's like, "What are you doing? Arguing with them?" And I'm like, "Well, they're driving me crazy." I'm like, they make no sense, but it's not about me. It's not about what I think. And I'll tell you what it is. Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Their name was Dave. It doesn't.
John and Mary Smith.
Yeah. No one's going to know. They're amazing people, right? And they have something in a different town, and it's really far, and their work is closer to where the open house was. And they're like, "What's your price range?" It's open. That makes no sense. Okay. So $3 million? No. Okay. So you're looking at a $600,000 home, and the home that you have is a $300,000 home, and you're going to sell it. Okay, great. Okay. And they're like, "Well, I look at Zillow every day." Mary, I look at the wife. I look at Zillow. Great. I look at Zillow. Okay. Someone's sending you a search. No. What area do you want to buy? We're open. Okay. Okay. Open to where? We're open. Okay. So the United States. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So Yeah, we only want to work with listing agents. Huh?
That's a good conversation right there.
We only want to work with listing agents. Oh, you mean, what do you mean? You only want to dial directly to the listing agent. Now, I'm going to tell you where I messed up. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. When someone says that, okay, I didn't do this and I lost it, okay? And I'm sure they'll never talk to me again, even though they won the Amazon card. Okay. What you should do is, as soon as someone says they wanted to work with directly real estate, okay, write this down, okay? You're going to say, this is what you're going to say. Oh, okay, that's not a bad thing. Let me ask you a question. Did something happen to you? Did something happen to you that made you think that way? That's what happened. Something happened to them. And that didn't trigger into my brain until after I told her after I told them it didn't make any, I can't call them names. After I told them it didn't make any sense on what they were doing. I'm thinking about me. I'm not thinking about them. You got to think about them. Oh, wow. That's not a bad thing. You know what? I wish I had every listing in the entire world so I would have a better chance on helping you buy a house. But unfortunately, it's unrealistic. But let me ask you a question, make a joke. That's awesome. Instead of doing that, I said, you want someone with your best interest at heart, and the listing agent is working for the buyer, so they don't have your best interest at heart. And why would you want to go with the listing agent and the market that we're doing right now, they're just going to push to get the best offer they can. You think you're going to get a lower commission. 95% of them don't give a lower commission. That's the approach I gave. That is not the right approach. Do not do that. What I want you to do, and that's what I did. And then she disappeared and ran to her husband, and Crystal's screaming at me saying, what are you doing? You just pissed them off, And but you know what happened after that? Another person came in and I had my game on, and they're a buyer seller, and they did have an agent, and they're interviewing me next week, Even
better. So walk out with them.
I walked out with a couple of them, but I'm going to repeat that. When someone says something that doesn't make sense to you, that means they were hurt.
And the buyer's agent, they think a lot of times I feel they're going to get that better deal. There's a lot of information on open
You know what
house
she
stuff.
said? You know what she said?
Yeah.
She said, well, you have to call the seller, you have to schedule with the seller, you have to see what time it is, and da-da-da-da. So I might as well go with the listing agent. And this is after I messed up. I'm shocked she's still talking to me. She said that was the issue. She had issues working with someone that didn't have the competence to they made it too difficult for her to see the home. So why just not go directly to the source? What I was trying to tell her is, in this type of market, you don't have access to the listing agent. Zillow is not going to do that. They're not giving you that phone number, so you want someone dedicated to be kind of like your listing agent for all the stuff that you're interested in.
Yeah, let's negotiate on your behalf and getting in the properties, because a lot of listing agents,
Make it seamless. Make it seamless.
Yeah.
So she must have been burned, wasted a lot of time. And I'm going to say this, time is very valuable. Do not complain how hard it is to set up 10 showings. Don't make it difficult. Never make it difficult. Never make it seem challenging. It's easy. This is exciting. I'm excited. This is going to be amazing. That's all I say. They're already stressed out. Why stress them out even more? They have to buy something. They have to sell something. They have a limited time frame. You need to be their cheerleader, and that's all you need to do.
So as we wrap up, Jeff, I want to thank you for being here. There's a lot of open houses. We're going to bring Jeff back on and kind of dive into, I think, some more follow-up stuff on open houses. If you've got next Friday available, we can kind of get into it. Episode 2 of Osborn Open House King.
What after the open house?
Yeah, let's do we'll dive into the open house and the follow-up after that. I think that's going to be the key, because these are all people you've had come to you. This isn't your average internet lead. This is belly to belly, doing the business belly to belly.
You can't get it any better. You cannot get it any better.
Yeah.
You cannot get it. The more they see you, it's like watching TV. The more we see celebrities, we know them. Matt Frazier, he's a CrossFit person. I feel like I know him, but I don't,
Because you follow him and you do that kind of stuff.
Because I follow him. I follow Todd. I feel like I know him. I see him too, so I guess I do. I'm going to end it with this, guys. I'm going to end it with this.
Go for it.
I'm going to end this. Stay positive, mindset, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, everybody else is off. We're not. Don't waste it. Stay positive. I have an affirmation that I read every morning, but I have a special affirmation that I read before my open house. Not every open house is a slam dunk. You can't, you got to do 6 months consecutive of every Sunday, maybe Saturday too, and you're going to have 20 plus deals a year. I guarantee it. It's the times when you're tired and you don't want to do it is when you have the best results. When it's raining, when I am in the worst mood, I shine the brightest. I overcome that mindset, and I have a family to support and I have people to help. Everybody can master. Okay, I'm going to say this. Everybody can master the art of helping people. You just have to put them first. I'm going to say that again. Everybody can master the art of helping people. You just have to put them first.
Perfect, Jeff. I love it. I mean, it's a lot of what's there is just keeping the positive mindset. You got to keep consistency on it as well. Everybody, appreciate you guys being here today. We will tune in next week with Jeff on session 2 of the open house. Open house king right here.
This is the man.
Yep, that's right there.
The legend right there.